Whoa! Sab Shed! Sab's Shed.
Hello, Cthulhu and future project lovers. I'm here again in Sab's Shed, and I'm starting again on another new project. But this one's not for this year, 2017. It will be hopefully for 2018. It's a bit of a longer project and a slight departure in that it's not going to be an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, although there may be some sort of influence in there. It will certainly have the same kind of feeling or dark theatre experience as the previous Sabbaton shows. So I will reveal all in a future announcement. But I'm working on something a bit bigger. But I thought I'd bring you in here just to share a little bit of progress on some pre-production props and some costume bits I'm making for a kind of pre-marketing brochure. I've got to take some photos. So the beard is gone temporarily. Got to get used to the old visage again. Anyway, here's a few things, and I will tell you what it's for a later date. Okay, have a look. So in here, this little box, I've been collecting and buying a few bits, just a little bit of expenditure, not much. We've got some goldy type spray paint, which has to look sort of brassy in the end. Now these things didn't cost me anything. I've been collecting over the years, because this project's been in my head for at least 10 years, probably more. I've been collecting old toys that I had in the loft and disassembling them. These are little cogs, which might give some people a clue to what I'm doing if I've mentioned it before. And there's various other little brass pieces and springs and all sorts of mechanical things that I'm going to make look like it's antique brass. I have some mod rock, which I'm using to do this temporary sort of proppage. I have my old chess set, which has been with me for many years. So chess is a theme of this show. And I have a polystyrene head. In fact, I've got two of these, what I ordered, and they're going to serve as a base for a little stand-in prop. So that's what we've got so far, and I'll bring you back a bit later to show what we've been doing with them. Okay, Fatag. Okay, so what did we want the mod rock for? If nobody knows what mod rock is, it's just a plaster bandage, the type of thing you used to get your broken arm wrapped in if you went to the hospital. Just mix it with water, spread it on something, goes hard. So what I've made is a cast of my face. There it is, a very rudimentary cast. Now you can just about, I think, recognise me. It's pretty scary, isn't it? Yes. This is a stand-in prop I'm making, so when I come to do the show proper, I will probably do all this again. But this is just to get a relatively quick and simple version of what I propose to make, to use as a standby prop for photographs, initial promos. And there's one of those polystyrene heads, and the idea is my face goes on to that, and I have then a sort of where's my body type head. So I'm going to fill in all the gaps, and that will become essentially my head. And then over here I've got a ping pong ball that I've cut in half, and they are going to be the eyes that will go inside these sockets. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put more plaster on it, some clay type material, which is this, which is air drying clay type thing, which I'm going to mould on top of the head. So now it looks relatively realistic, but I want to make it slightly stylized, and it's going to look a bit like this. Okay, that type of thing. So somewhere between the Metropolis robot and a sort of African influenced statue bust, which I've seen, and I'll show you that a bit later. So that's the idea. I'll show you the results afterwards. Okay, bye bye. Here we are back again, and almost ready to start the clay moulding stage on the head, and since I showed you last time, I've made some progress. What I've done is taken the cast from my face with Modrock. I've put it on the polystyrene head, made some little tweaks here and there, and I've put the eyes in, and I've done the eyelids. So let's have a look. Here he is, little me. Ooh, there he is. So I think he's sort of come on okay. I've covered the whole thing in Modrock. So this is just a base to start working properly now. So I can see we've got some eyelids. So yeah, we're gonna start moulding it now. This is the what I'm gonna be inspired by, this African sculpture, and I like these sort of lines that are coming down the face here. So I'm going to attempt to do that on my little head. I did do some experiments about this Metropolis robot. I was going to do something, make the head a little strange with this sort of nose, stylize it a bit, but after doing a few cardboard experiments, I'm going to leave it as is, but I'm going to do this sort of scarification on it. So that's where we are with that. Also, we've got the cogs that I did, and here is the finished cogs, which have been painted and distressed to look like old brass clockwork type things, springs and brackets and all sorts, and then there's two larger wheels there. So that will suffice for the photographs. Right, on to the sculpting. See you next time. Hello, weird theatre lovers. Right, a quick progress report. You can see here on the head. I covered it yesterday in this quick dry clay. So you can see there's lots of cracks everywhere. It's dried overnight. I was sort of expecting that, because I know it tends towards cracking, but you know, I don't mind it, because I was going to smooth it over and do another layer and build up some more details on the lips and the nose, but I think I'm going to just embrace it. After all, this thing that I'm making is potentially 85 odd years old, so it's going to have seen some action, so I'm going to embrace it. And you see I've drawn these lines on with pencil very roughly at the moment, and the idea of course is to sort of take the influence from this African statue, and that was my original idea, but I've made it less stylized now, and so it's a mixture of the two. Now the next thing is trying to see if I can cut some grooves in here without ruining it. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to try a little rotary tool. A knife won't do it. So we'll see. So that's the progress report on the head. Okay, off we go. And here we are again, back with Mini Me. There's the head. You can see I've done a few different things now. I have put some more plaster all around the back just to make it smooth. I smoothed it down. There's been several layers that you can't see of PVA just to strengthen it, and some flame proof in there, and some undercoat, which I've done a couple of layers of that. And I've started to experiment here with some colours. It needs to be a sort of wooden mahogany type colour, so there's a bit of work done there. It's not too bad. This bit's a bit too dark there, so what I'm going to try and do with the rest of it, that was just an experiment, I'm going to put a dark wash on first, which is a bit irregular, just to sort of fill up all these scarification gaps first, Then I'm going to do the colouring like this, and then if I need to I'll put a lighter wash over the top of that. So that's where we are just now. Hello, hello, where's my body? And here's the wash. So all we do with the wash is just put a blob of black paint in there. It's acrylic paint, and I'm going to put a good dollop of water in there, and then you mix it up and stick it on. So we shall see how that works. Hello Cthulhu lovers, and we start today's broadcast with this lovely cup of tea brought to you by Sabbaton Towers. Okay, here I am, the Fool Sabbaton. Just a quick update on where we are with the head. Here he is. I've done him now in the base coat, which was this sort of reddy brown colour that I mixed together. So it's a little dark at the moment, but it's a base coat, and there's a little bit of yellow that I've experimented with as well in places, and a bit of darker brown as well, trying to get different sort of slightly different shades, but to you it sort of does look pretty dark brown. So what we're going to do now is to try and bring some more flavours to the table, and make it look a bit more woody. And wood, of course, has got lots of different shades in it. So here is some yellow and a blob of brown, which I'm going to mix. It's acrylic paint, cheap stuff, and we're going to try and, let me just show you my picture. Oh, I'm giving the game away here, but this is sort of where I'm aiming for. I've made my version of the TURK, or will be explained later, a bit more human than this. Is more accentuated features here, but it's made of wood. This is a replica of this wonderful chess playing automaton from the 18th century. So I'm going to try and get some more different shades of brown into the mix. That's the idea, and then I shall do some washes over the top. So we want to bring a bit of subtlety. Here's a thing. I've had these for ages in my big makeup box. I've never used them. They're I got them years ago. Crepe wool for making your own moustaches and beards. If you're an actor and you need to make a moustache or beard on yourself with spirit gum, you use this stuff. I don't know if not very good lighting in here. I'm in the shed, of course, but it's crepe wool. You unravel it. I'll show you in detail later, and you can mix different colours together and spirit gun them on your face and make moustaches and things. But I'm going to try and do that with the TURK over here, or my version of the TURK. This was just going to be a standby prop, but maybe it will end up in the final show. I don't know yet. We'll see how it turns out. But we're going to make a moustache anyway. I've got enough to make a moustache and some eyebrows, and of course it will have a turban on, and maybe a jewel. I might make a sort of Lovecraftian Easter egg reference there. I'm thinking of our friend A.A.H. To be continued, who knows. So there we are, that's what we're going to do. And I've got some various other bits and bobs to play around with, but that's all for now. So I will bring you back, I think, when I've got to the end of this colour blending idea. Okay, here we go. Right, we're back again. Here are the colours that I've mixed up. Sort of slightly orangey light brown, and then a sort of browny yellow. And I've just done one side of the head here. Let's see if I can. So there's before. That's the side I haven't done. And then this side, I don't know if you can pick it out, but it's just ever so subtle. I've done this side. I've put the other two colours on, just dry brushing it on. And I think it's sort of made it a little bit more subtle. So I'm going to do this side now, and then I shall do a light black wash over the whole thing, and hopefully that will bring it all together. Alright. Okay. Off we go. Hello, strange model head lovers. Here is the old head. Pretty much finished apart from its moustache and eyebrows and turban. So I've done all the, here are the remnants of all the colours I've used. There's several here, different shades of brown, yellow, and dark brown in there. Well, it's all stuck together, never mind. And washes and all sorts. So there's about 4 or 5 different washes and colours, along with bits of shading and whatnot. So I hope you like that. It looks a bit more woody, different shades of browns and yellows and things. And now to put on, or attempt to put on, some crepe wool, which is here for the moustache and the eyebrows. There's my reference shots. I don't want it to be as caricature as this. I want it a little more realistic. So I've got some crepe wool in various different shades. I've got a black, a dark brown, and a sort of reddy brown. So I'm going to see what works best. Maybe 2-tone, because like with all textures, like the wood, hair has lots of different, slightly different colours in it. So we're going to see if we can do something with that. Catch you later. Bye bye. And here he is with his moustache and eyebrows on. Quite a big mustachioed eyebrow chappy at the moment. He might need a trim, but he's alright actually, not too bad. He just needs his turban now, in line with this type of thing. So at the moment I've got Abdul El Hazred's old turban out here from storage, covered in all the detritus of the tomb from the statement of Randolph Carter, my version. So I shall try and put that on our friend the Turk here, but he might have a worn silk turban, possibly a sort of deep burgundy, or maybe the white, I don't know. What do you guys think? I've also made out of milliput a little jewel brooch to go on the turban. That will be painted with a little symbol on it. I wonder if you can guess what that symbol is. It's a bit of license on my part, but it's a bit of fun, and I don't know, it just takes me down a particular path with this, a little Easter egg for some people. So I'll leave you with our friend here until I can get his turban on. Okay, and the final reveal will be coming up next. Hello Cthulhu lovers and all other theatre lovers. Hello, 'tis little me back in the shed with the final part of this here little make. I've just done a little, just for fun, a little montage of all the bits that I've put together and made. There's a little old metronome, what I does work, what I bought, but it needs winding up, and some wires and some chess pieces and some valves and those cogs I made, and a few raven wings which I bought off eBay as a little thematic motif. If I do something with Edgar Allan Poe. Anyway, here is the finished Turk. There he is. If I pull back, I've made him a turban, and I've made that little brooch on the top, which some of you will recognise the symbol on there, which is a sort of little Easter egg to my Lovecraftian followers. Not that this is a Lovecraftian play, but I might weave some sort of magic in there. Well, this is it. I think it's come out quite nice. I don't know if I'll leave the eyes completely white, but I like their sort of blank stare, and you can see the moustache has gone on, with that crepe wool that I showed you, and the eyebrows. There's 3 different colours in that hair. There's dark brown, lighter brown, and there's black. So there he is. He's my face, and it's the face, or at least the first draft of the mechanical Turk, which is going to be my new project, which won't be happening in 2017, but hopefully in 2018. But it'll be full of the same sort of dark mystery and deeper questions that my Lovecraftian work has contained. So there he is. Let's give you a quick look. I'll bring him over here. Oh, the lighting's not great. There we are. Perhaps if I do it there we are. You can sort of get a better look. There he is, in all his glory. We've got those sort of scarification lines that I popped in, a sort of wooden texture, all the clay work that we did, and that's the back of the turban, which is, I tried my best to tie a sort of classic everyday turban. So there he is. So I hope you like that, and I hope you like the idea of this show. The next stage for me is to go for funding. There he is, yeah, to go for funding for this show. I'm going to try for it anyway, and we'll hopefully get it on the road for next year. I'm not sure exactly, you know, all of the elements of the show, but I'm working on it now. What else can I tell you about it? Well, there's possibilities that we might have some animated Turk parts, or maybe not. It depends how the first draft of the play goes, because sometimes, I mean, I work out how to do things, think about how to make, I can have an animatronic Turk or something, you know, moving head, moving arms, that sort of thing. And after I've worked out how to do it, I sometimes think, well, you know, this will just cheapen the whole thing and turn it into a sort of circus act, and all you get then is virtuosity. So sometimes it's best, once you've figured out a way to do something, is just not do it. But I don't know yet. It depends how the first writing draft goes. So that's my next move, along with getting the funding together. I'm also thinking of resurrecting this thing, which I originally made for the Statement of Randolph Carter as a light, but I didn't use it in the end because I wasn't happy with the build. And instead, I went for this more classic design, which is a real hurricane lamp, which I converted to a battery electric light. But I'm now thinking I could perhaps redesign this a little bit, because I need a hanging lantern, oil lantern, something that you would find in a mid-19th century sailing ship, which is where the play takes place, in the hold or cabin of a chap called Johann Nepomuk Mazel, as he is moving towards his sad demise, surrounded by packing crates which are full of pieces of the Turk, his only friend. So there we are. That's the end of this little make series from the shed. Hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment, subscribe, and all of those kind of things. I'm not very good at selling myself, so I'm just a guy that makes stuff, really. But anyway, see you next time. Bye. Fatagan.
Whoa. Sab Shed. Sab's Shed.